In the early 2000s, life was freaking weird. It had skateboarding, Enrique Iglesias, and this commercial, which happened to be what spawned the first wave of Karens. What's even more wacky, in a holy shit that's kind of cool type of way, was all of the dope-ass cartoons that were being thrown at us. Early 2000s cartoons, everybody!
ドキドキしちゃる
Saturday morning cartoons in the 2000s offered us that special warm feeling we get inside of our tummies whenever we see a beautiful kung fu movie. And by that, I mean Jackie motherfucking Chan had his own cartoon that I initially thought he dubbed over because I was a dumb, impressionable child. I looked it up, and lo and behold, the actor who plays Jackie Chan's name's not even Jackie Chan. They're trying to fool us. This show was about Jackie Chan using his awesome karate skills to collect talismans that are based on the zodiac signs, but that's not all the show's about. It's also about Grandpa Chan saying funny phrases, child endangerment, and the real Jackie Chan giving beautiful speeches at the end of every episode.
The people, the children, my grandchildren, little crap. And also, the double, that's me. I want to be a cartoon character.
Hamtaro, which still holds the trophy for arguably the cutest, most adorable animated show to be on television, which came out around the same time that Jackie Chan Adventures did. And that's all I really know about it, besides the fact that it left me wanting a hamster since I was 4 years old. It was too cute for me to understand the plot. Then Static Shock, which is a show about a black teen superhero with electricity powers, came out, and it was pretty good. In this one episode that's about school shootings, his white sidekick homie Richie gets shot, which had me like, oh damn, Richie, why'd you have to shoot Richie? No! Cartoons hit different back then and carried an attitude that didn't give a flippin' flap, my boys and gals, which is not to say that cartoons in recent years haven't had similar attitudes, but to say that the nostalgia that these cartoons made me feel just drives me to love them that much more. Like, look at Courage the Cowardly Dog. It came out in 1999, but I still count it as an early 2000s cartoon. Why, you might ask? Because I created this video, and it still offered me many nights of discomfort through my early childhood, and that's more than enough to make me add it to this dialogue. Look at this creepy-ass squiggly man.
Return the slab.
Ugh. With these cartoons, I never knew what was going to be thrown at me next in terms of art style, storyline, or particular mood that the cartoon was going for. And what speaks so truly of this was what I consider to be the golden year of 2000s cartoons. 2001, baby! 1999 and 2000 was what was considered to be crack-a-lackin' in the early 2000s. But 2001 came in rolling with them hot, big gats. We got Totally Spies coming out, which was an action-packed spy cartoon version of Charlie's Angels, but instead of degrading women and feeding into adult men's perverse fantasies, it was targeted towards empowering little girls and feeding into horny little boys' perverse fantasies. You know my 5-year-old perverted self was out here trying to figure out how I could make babies come out of their belly buttons by kissing them after I married them. Samurai Jack then came in, being awesome and swish swooshing evil robot dudes with his dope-ass sword. This show's about a samurai who gets transported into a post-apocalyptic future by a demon. Like, what? Who made this shit? This guy! He's awesome! Then Fairly Odd Parents flew in and destroyed all the semblance of gender roles my traditional-ass Mexican parents had instilled in me. And if you don't know, this show's about a kid with magical fairy parents that grant him any wish he wants, a crazy teacher trying to prove that are real, and brushing your teeth. The Proud Family was freaking hilarious, and about a black girl living her everyday life. As Bustle puts it, The Proud Family was the kind of cartoon that every person in the family could watch and enjoy. Unless your family happens to be made up of neo-Nazis or KKK members, in which case, Bustle's a liar, and you need to run away from your family. Run! The entire show was fairly normal, and then the movie came out and was about a mad scientist who turned peanuts into monsters. Like, what the fuck is going on here? I have no idea, but it was incredible. One of my all-time favorite parts of 2001 was the creepy-ass shows that it brought forth that would inevitably lead towards my love of alt girls. Invader Zim had Gaz, and Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy had Mandy. Both Gaz and Mandy had 5-year-old me smitten. Invader Zim also had the classically terrifying episode where Zim, an alien bent on world domination, ends up eating everyone's organs. And Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, a show about the Grim Reaper having to be friends with these two weird-ass kids, had which was a fucking nightmare of a wooden boy trying to eat Billy's skin to become a real boy.
Can I eat your flesh so I can become a real boy? Not today.
These were horrific comedic gold and still hold up to being some of the most unique pieces of television that I've seen to this day. Invader Zim and Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy were always pushing boundaries and helped me to develop as well as grow my love for dark imagery. I was one of those kids in kindergarten drawing people being eaten alive by sharks. But coming in at the #1 spot for the best 2001 show that's so obviously critically acclaimed, Disney's Legend of Tarzan, coming in hot with an IMDb rating of a D+ with a 6.8. Wow, I think I should reevaluate my life. As 2001 faded away, the cartoon started to become a little bland in 2002, offering us shows like Chalk Zone, which was about a kid that could go into a chalk world and had a magical piece of chalk that could draw anything he wanted to in the chalk world, which sounds like it would be a really cool premise, but all I can really remember from the show was how boring it was. Mind you, I was a 6-year-old child, so I didn't really have real opinions on anything. But then Kim Possible, another female spy show came out, but this time with a solo spy gal, not a sexy group of spy gals. And it had me being like, damn, who's that sexy mamacita? And I'm not talking about Kim P. I'm talking about her beautiful alt nemesis, Shigo. Jimmy Neutron popped up soon after with his big-ass genius head. This show's about a nerd who went on wacky adventures, and I was a giant freaking nerd. So despite your shit rating show, I still love you, Jimmy Neutron, boy genius. In 2003, French people came into the American cartoon scene with Code Lyoko and took us into the lives of high school students who were able to transport themselves into the alternate dimension of Lyoko. This combination of 2D and 3D animation was such a refreshing feel from cartoons of the past. 2003 also made possible. And for anyone who knows what Teen Titans was, it was absolutely freaking amazing. It followed a bunch of teen DC superheroes joining forces to try and defeat the evil big macho baddie Slade. The year also brought forth Codename Kids Next Door, which was about a bunch of kid spies joining forces to defeat adults who were the show's main antagonists, along with the evil teenagers who wore battle-ready armor. Battle-ready armor, go! Wow, this doesn't actually work. Why? I look kind of cute though, not gonna lie. 2003 could have been a golden year, but it didn't have Tarzan, and we all know that that's the real GOAT in the Cartoon Hall of Fame. After this, in 2004, we got Dave the Barbarian, which was just a really funny show about a barbarian who had no actual barbaric qualities, but it was hilarious nonetheless. And it didn't really have a plot, at least I don't remember its plot. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends then released and was about a boy who had to put his imaginary friend in a home because he was too old to have an imaginary friend. And if you really think about this premise, it's just about a boy that goes to visit his friend at an orphanage. It's kind of sad. I didn't really like it, but it did pretty damn good for itself. So good for you, Foster's Home. Also, Grandma Foster was such an adorable little old lady. Aw, look at her. I love her. You love her. You should love her. Danny Phantom later jumped in, having our main character be a boy who was half ghost, half human. And if there's anyone who lived through the airing of this show and told you that they didn't want to be Danny Phantom, they're 100% fooling you. Look at this man. Who doesn't want to be Danny Phantom? Oh, shit. I'm a spooky ghost. Ooh. And to finish things off with
2005.
Skipping over American Dragon, skipping over Ben 10, and skipping over Johnny Test, which were all great shows in their own right, but overshadowed by one of the most popular and fulfilling shows out there, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Now, if you don't know what this show's about, you've been straight sleeping. Earth. Fire. Air. Long ago, the four nations lived in harmony. Then everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. God damn it. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day. Goodbye.